Hi guys, it's me. Last time I talked about understanding of the world and its people, and how it can make a big difference in your personal life, with your emotions, towards other people. Understanding. In a practical way, trying to learn to understand the people of the world. The easiest part is to start with yourself. How much understanding do you actually have in yourself? Understanding yourself is mostly to do with awareness. The awareness of why you do certain things in certain situations, why you act the way you act. For example, if you feel you're acting grumpy sometime, you can stand still and feel, why am I acting this way? Why am I behaving in this manner? And often you will find the reasons behind your own behavior. Like, you might not have had a lot of sleep. You might have been under a bit of stress. You might have to do things that you are not looking forward to doing. You might have built up stress or energy from people around you which you haven't been able to discuss and talk about with them, and thus you react to them in a grumpy and agitated way. So it starts with reflecting on yourself. Reflecting on yourself why your behavior is the way it is. Now this is most effective if you try to do this at all times. So if you practice with this and you do this as often as you can, it kind of becomes second nature. Now the next step is to try to imagine yourself in the people that are around you. Again, the easiest people to start with are the people that are closest to you. Your partner, your parents, your brothers or sisters, even your children. And with children it can be a lot of fun to go through this process. Putting yourself in their position and then trying to imagine why they are acting the way they're acting. Now this is a lot tougher because we don't all have the same patterns in life. Some people react to certain forms of stress or certain forms of pressure differently than others. Some people actually like certain amount of stress in their life, and some people can't cope with it at all. So trying to gain understanding in someone else and trying to make yourself aware what they are going through at the moment, why they are expressing these feelings and emotions towards you. It will take a bigger effort on your part. Basically, you cannot expect them to do the same. It's also important to realize that you don't always have to agree with them, even if you put in the effort to understand why they're acting in this way. It has nothing to do with like you condone their behavior or you agree with it. It's just like so much easier for yourself to try and find the energy level, the vibration that they are on, and because once you know this feeling that they're in, you can actually try to imagine what would be best for them to perceive you to do, and thus get what you want from them. Now this sounds a little bit complicated, but it's really quite easily understandable once you actually start experimenting with this. So if you're at the counter and you need some help from the person behind the counter, they are in a certain mood and you want something from them, you might also be in a certain mood. The good thing about your awareness is that you can realize what kind of mood you're on. If often you're putting some kind of pressure on them, or like expressing that it's really important for you, and this might not always come in the most tactful way. So in these type of situations, often tension arises, and once this tension exists and neither of the parties actually take a step back to see like, okay, what's going on here? I feel this is tension, like these people are there to do their job, whichever that may be, and you are there to get something from their what their job is. And so basically they're there to help you. But if this tension is there, this becomes very difficult, because it's a human tendency to, when you feel this tension arise, build up your own energy and like try to push the other energy out a little bit. So what is important to do is for you to be the person to take a step back. And like once you realize there's a tension build up, you think, okay, what's going on here? Okay, what do I want, and how can I get what I want now from this person? And this is where a big part of communication comes in. Trying to communicate in a way which will be pleasant for the other person to perceive you. So often it is the way of submission. Submission sounds a little bit denigrating, but it doesn't have to be. It's actually learning to act from a submissive position can actually be used as a great tool to get to your goals, and also it can teach you a great deal about yourself, like it's very likely that you are also here on this planet to serve a purpose, and in submission you can get closer to that feeling, to that emotion. Okay, so getting back to the situation, you are there, the person is obviously firing back. I think the best way to approach after you set a step back is trying to imagine the person sitting opposite you in a very positive way, and trying to phrase your sentences like, I have this problem that I have, and I would really be happy if you could help me with this. I mean, the way they act is not always their choice to actually do this. Like, people fall in all kinds of patterns, especially at work, situations where things come up. Like, if they've just had a couple of bad customers before you, they might be stressed from that, and then you come and they just are fed up with the world, or like with their own situation, their job, and they just spew this over you to like relieve their stress. So there is an applicable way how you can use awareness and understanding to your advantage, how you can practice with it, and this might help you to become a happier being. Thank you for listening, and see you guys next time.